Oh my god, my fellow AFAB people. Barry McCockiner is gonna solve all of our problems. If you don't want to be pregnant again or ever, Barry's gonna start a tax fund program that will let us get sterilized whenever we want. Though I'm not sure why he would volunteer such a thing, because given that he told the creator of the linked video to get a hysterectomy because she'd be a bad mom, he seems to think that it's easy to do. I also wonder if you know, Barry, that a pretty popular stance in the pro-life community, which I assume you're part of, is that to get sterilized is essentially to get a lifelong abortion. Before you start this program, Barry, you should probably consult with your fellow pro-lifers because they might consider you a mass abortion enabler. I also have another bombshell for you, Barry. Technically, the government is already supposed to pay for these procedures. If you're on Medicaid, your sterilization is supposed to be paid for in full. The same goes for almost all American insurance companies. Back when I got my BISALP in 2021, my insurance covered the entire thing. But honestly, the biggest problem, Barry, and you need to know this when you're making your program, is getting approved at all. So instead of setting up a program that already exists, what you really need to focus on is convincing doctors that women are people, which I think is going to be rough for you because you don't seem to believe that yourself. And in that vein, I'd like to ask, if you don't trust women to vote, why would you trust them to carry and care for the future children of America? Why don't AMAB people just do it instead? Oh, they can't. That's too bad. I guess you still gotta keep AFAB people around if you want a kid. You also say in another comment that rape is a terrible crime committed by someone else. Sex is a great thing that happens with two people. And while that is accurate, you're missing an important part of the puzzle. Just because I have sex with someone and enjoy it, and just because I'm in a steady relationship with that person, doesn't mean I want a pregnancy from that sex or that relationship. And before you say that if you don't want kids, use protection, you do know that no form of protection, even sterilization, is 100%. And I find it interesting that you're speaking on what it's like to be pregnant and what it might be like emotionally to terminate a pregnancy when it's never happened to you and never will. Who it has happened to, though, is me. I had consensual, enjoyable sex. We used 2 forms of birth control because neither of us want to be parents. I still got pregnant. I did not want that pregnancy. And when you're pregnant against your will, it is torture, like to the point where it is considered a war crime to force someone to remain pregnant when they don't want to be. Now, it just so happened that that pregnancy that I didn't want was ectopic and it ruptured, and obviously there was no baby to be had from that. Now, they removed that pregnancy with an abortion. So since you are anti-abortion, I suppose that you do not want ectopic pregnancies to be treated and the pregnant person to die, correct? Now, had I wanted that pregnancy, losing the pregnancy at all, and especially in the form of an ectopic pregnancy, would have been devastating. But since I didn't want that pregnancy, I didn't feel sad at all. All I felt, and all I've felt since this happened in March of 2018, is relief. And that's because there's a huge difference between a wanted pregnancy and an unwanted pregnancy, even if you conceived it with someone that you love. And again, I ask, if you distrust women so much, why would you trust us to have kids? Maybe instead of inventing a program that already exists, you could make that your project. Figure out how to carry pregnancies on your own so you don't have to use untrustworthy women. Good luck!